So just how do you produce salon advertising that sells? Well, actually, there's a step that you have to take before you produce advertising that sells. And that step is you have to do your homework. Because it's not uncommon, in fact, I would say it's probably 99%, this is what's done. The salon owners will open a business, open a salon, open a barbershop or a beauty salon, and just hope the local population comes in and uses that salon. It doesn't really work like that. And remember, what I'm teaching you is things that will work. What you really need to do is you need to do your homework. First of all, you need to know what it is you're delivering. So if you're one of those hairdressers who are super cool, doing everything super different and doing some quirky, crazy stuff, or you're a mainstream hairdresser doing all the usual stuff that everybody does, but that's fine because that's what people want, right? You need to do your homework and understand what kind of hairdresser and hairdressing salon you have right now. Because unless you know what it is you deliver, you will never be able to attract the right customers, and you'll never be able to create marketing campaigns that actually sell your business. So if you have a population where everybody's between 45 and 65, there's no point using mohawks in every single piece of advertising that you use. You have to use imagery that is applicable to what you do. And you have to say to yourself, who are my target group? So if I'm going to target between 25 and 45-year-olds, what is it those clients want? How is it those clients look? What is it those clients feel? What does those clients need on a daily basis from the way they look and feel? And does your salon match their expectation? So the way they look and feel and think, does the way your salon looks and feels and thinks and presents itself, is it according to how they already feel and think? And this will lead on to a second part of your hairdressing business. And this is the positioning of your salon. Now, the positioning of your salon can only come together once you've done your homework. For example, if you're doing young, quirky, mad stuff, you may be targeting students and younger people who don't have the cash to spend £125 on a haircut. So you have to decide on the position that your business is going to take. Will you be taking a position of, we are the people salon, we're doing it quite cheap, we're doing cool stuff, but that's the position you're taking? And but remember, don't forget to ask the question, how will it affect your wages? How will it affect your ability to pay the bills? So you have to take into account all these things when you think about your position. And the position will affect the advertising and the marketing strategies that you do in your salon. So if you are positioned as a salon who is high-end and expensive, does your salon look high-end and expensive? Are you changing things regular in your salon? Or does it honestly just look like just another hairdressing salon? Are your staff slobbing out at the desk? Are you not changing things? Is it not as clean as it should be? You have to take into account how that target market feels when they see your salon. But of course, that doesn't mean your salon's going to do amazing because you're taking that position. You could take the second position in your town, which will make you into the first position, because in your advertising and marketing, you could start suddenly saying, look, because we only have second position in this town, we have to try much harder. And that will win people over. And of course, in today's recyclable, eco-friendly, circular world, you know, you could be taking the position of, we are a completely eco-friendly salon. But you can't say you're an eco-friendly salon if you've got plastic bottles everywhere and you're pouring tons and tons of chemically enhanced tint down the sink. So what I'm saying is, do your homework about your salon. And when you do your homework about your salon and then do the homework about the clients out there, then and only then can you decide on what kind of position you're going to take. And one of the third things you have to really take into account when you're deciding on your salon is your brand image. Now, brands are very interesting. The only people who really get a grip on brands are either very, very smart people or corporations who invest hundreds of millions into their logo and their brand. Now, you have to remember, brands can be many different things. Brands can be a colour. So, for instance, if you see the blue that Facebook use, you associate that blue with Facebook. They automatically have that brand. And of course, they have their font and their F. So you have to decide your salon brand. So let's think about this. A brand was designed originally to brand criminals. And they would have a hot stamp branded on them to identify them to the public that, be careful about this guy, he's potentially still a criminal. And then brands were used on animals, farming animals in particular, to show other farms that, you know, there may be 300 cows there, but all of those with AFS on, they belong to AFS, and so on and so forth. So the brand is an identifying mark. Now, this is really important because a brand can identify your salon business without people being inside your salon. So if you don't have a brand, you have a problem, because what you're lacking in is the memory aid which brings your salon into the mind of the public. So when they see something, they think about your salon. So we have a coffee shop in this town called Grantee. It's amazing. I'm going to interview this guy one day. His branding is amazing. Every time I see the blue he uses, which is like almost like a turquoise blue, and he uses like a Hollywood film font, and he has a blue bicycle, an old bicycle, painted blue as his logo, which is actually stuck above his shop, fixed to the, instead of the name of the shop at the top, he does has the name, but it has his bicycle there also. And that's all part of his branding. And every time I see this guy's stuff all over the place, and he is relentless on his stuff, you can identify his brand instantly. So the other thing to remember with a brand is something you use everywhere on everything. You use it on adverts, you have it on the gowns, you have it on the door, you have it on your car. You have it everywhere and anywhere, and it has to be easily identifiable, even without the words. And this will allow people to bring back that memory of the brand of your salon. So it's important that you have a brand, and if you don't have a brand, you'll still get one probably done quite cheap online that you can run with forever. The original Nike tick was actually done for, I think it was $1 or something crazy. So you can get these things done. The Adidas 3 stripes comes from the line in the A, the line in the D, and the line in the I, ad. And that's where it comes from, the 3 lines. So they just took the 3 lines. So there's lots of different ways of thinking about brands, but make sure you get your branding done. It's critical for your salon business. And the next thing you have to really think about, and there's a lot of these things, is what's the big idea, what's the big concept of this salon? When I had my hairdressing salons, and they were #1 for nearly 20 years, my big idea was we had our tagline, our logo, which was having fun, doing hair, having fun, being #1. And that's what I wanted the salon to be about. I wanted us to be #1, I wanted us to have fun, and I wanted us all to be doing hair. And we were very current, we were very modern. We charged 3 times more than any other salon in the town, the 35 salons. And of course, they hated us for being like that. But it worked for us. We had a big idea. And the big idea was change, relentless change, be the best, be #1. If it isn't working, change it. So does your salon have a big idea? And if it has a big idea, what is that big idea? Is it a big concept, or Are you just a hairdressing salon? So guys, in the next video, I'll be continuing this theme about how to make marketing and advertising that will sell your salon like crazy. Rewatch these videos, think about these videos, make sure you leave a comment below. Until the next video, Alan, Salon Punk.